A lot of plastics release chemicals that have estrogenic activity.
Estrogenic activity, or EA, happens when a chemical like BPA or phthalate leaches from plastic and enters the body, where it mimics the hormone estrogen. 92.6% of Americans aged 6 and older have detectable levels of BPA in their bodies. The levels in children between 6 and 11 years of age are twice as high as those in older Americans.
The majority of plastics increase the release of chemicals having estrogenic activity after they've been exposed, particularly sunlight.
How do you not consume it? You can't go anywhere without seeing food wrapped in plastic. You can't go to a restaurant without, takeout boxes being in plastic, hot foods going into plastic.
My answer there is, well, demand safer plastic.
Are all of those chemicals not regulated?
No, the FDA at present does not have any regulations for how many chemicals and what levels of chemicals having estrogenic activity can be released from plastics or from cosmetics or papers or silicones.
So how is the general public protected from that kind of thing?
They aren't.
It's so very hard as a parent to feel like you can do the best thing, that you can do the right thing anymore. Every day, we're contributing potentially to a dreadful health problem later on down the line.
I want to thank Plastic Oceans for that clip, and I've pulled that from YouTube. I hope I'm giving the proper thank yous for that because I didn't get permission. I just took it, and but I am giving you credit. So thank you for watching that. I want to go through some brief talking points just to, kind of fill in everything that this clip talked about today. And again, I just hope that you can listen with an open heart and an open mind, because I remember, first of all, the paper straws are awful, and they are, and they're probably, and from what I understand, they're coated in something that we don't necessarily want, and but I don't know that for sure because I didn't test it in the lab. But that said, the paper straws suck. I'd almost rather drink out of a metal straw than a plastic straw, but the paper straws are terrible. So I don't know what all the answers are, but it's important that we're aware so that maybe, hopefully, that this content today inspires you, because if you're that person that can come up with a proper solution, then that's what I want. And I think sometimes delivering these messages, it's not telling you what to believe or what to do. It's just, here's the information. And I hope for someone it inspires a vision that will bring a solution, because there's got to be a solution to this. And because it's absolutely ridiculous what plastic pollution is doing, not just to the planet, but to us as humans. So without further ado, let's get into this. So the impact on mothers, which is that's the first thing that sticks into my mind. That is a plastic problem, outside of the external ugliness of it polluting our oceans and beaches and just our cities and towns. The endocrine disruptors. Chemicals in the plastics like BPA can act as an endocrine disruptor, affecting hormonal balance, which is crucial for during pregnancy. Fetal development. Exposure to plastic pollutants can lead to development issues in fetuses, including lower IQ and behavioral problems. That actually reminds me of the metals that we consume too, but that's another subject. I'm gonna make a note of that. Talk about that another time. Breastfeeding. This one blew my mind when I first learned about it. Chemicals from the plastic can enter breast milk, posing risk to newborns. So you're thinking, well, how's that possible? Fish eat food, or they eat what they think is food and it's plastic. We eat fish. We consume microplastics. There you go. That's the short version. Other health risks and impacts on humans. Chemicals in plastics can leach into food and water. Oh, I just said that. Leading to health issues like cancer, liver dysfunction, and reproductive problems. Microplastics. These tiny particles can enter the human body through food, water, and air, causing unknown long-term health effects. Here's another one, mental health. The sight of polluted environments can lead to psychological stress and anxiety. Now that's one of those things that's really easy to dismiss and make fun of and just say, oh, that's goofy. You know what? It makes me sad. It makes me sad to see a beautiful beach polluted with condoms and needles. And one of the coolest beaches in San Diego is Ocean Beach. Ocean Beach in San Diego. There's a sick sports bar, and it's sick to me and sick in a good way, because that's where they play the Oklahoma Sooners games. So when I lived in San Diego, that's where I went. No, that wasn't Ocean's Beach. What is the other? No, I mixed that up. My bad. That's Pacific Beach. Ocean's Beach has a bunch of really cool hangout spots, and there's a place that we used to go and play games, play the giant Jenga drinking game. I don't drink anymore, but that game was stinking fun. But there's just a cool area in Ocean's Beach, really cool area too, where there's this Greenland area where people are just hanging out, and it's just a fun hippie beach that is polluted and it's disgusting, and I would never touch that sand ever, ever. Cool beach, dangerous, wouldn't go on it. Okay. So yeah, it affects my mental health, and it should, because this is nature. And I believe that our Creator gave us this beautiful landscape, nature, because, well, I mean, we get to enjoy it, and it produces our food, and it provides oxygen. And again, I'm not a freaking expert on any of that stuff, but I do know that I love nature, and I love to look at God's creation, and it's just perfection that's not been screwed up by man. Like, man has screwed up so much amazing stuff that God created, and it's gone. Like, I swear to you, the more I learn about life, the more I learn that everything that I truly value is free. And one of those free things that I value is getting to look out this window right here, that there's this gorgeous park, and there's parks all over my community. But I mean, it is beautiful here, and the river that runs through this town, like it's beautiful. And I think about all the lakes here, and you know what, for the most part, the people of Minnesota take care of their stuff, and it is really awesome that we take care of nature here. And yeah, there's taxes are high and all that other stuff, but people take care of it. But then I go to places like Los Angeles, and LA is home in my heart. Of course, Northville is becoming home too, but LA is home in my heart. It's where I died. It's where I found life. I love Los Angeles. People don't take care of Los Angeles. Like, as a whole, it is a cesspool now, and it's sad. It's sad to me, because it's a magical place. It's just been crapped on by broken dreams and drugs and excess, and I'm gonna start preaching, so I'm gonna stop. Okay. The environmental impact of plastic pollution. Millions of marine animals die each year due to plastic pollution, either by ingestion or entanglement. You ever seen those little sea turtles? You get the beer can, you know those little plastic rings that hold the cans? I remember seeing a sea turtle trapped in one of those, and I like sea turtles, and that was sad to me. And I think about the oil spills, which that's a whole other conversation, so I won't go there. But we're affecting, like, that's, we don't eat, I hope we don't eat turtles, but I mean, even the fish, they're eating this stuff. And I mean, fish is amazing. I mean, we make sushi and fish. You know, fish provides meals for people that are poor because they can go fishing and get their own fish. But then if they do that and there's plastics and pollution in the fish, and then they consume that, then they're poisoning themselves. You're like, well, you should get a job and buy food. Well, that's not an option for everyone. And I don't know what the solution is. I'm just saying, like, maybe we could pick up our freaking trash. Let's start there. Maybe by reusing our plastic, maybe not using plastic at all. And I know how difficult that would be, but we can do little things like reusing plastic bottles. That's one thing of many we could do. I'm not, and here's the thing, and I should probably do something about recycling, because I don't think that that's really on the up and up the way that we think it is, because I think we ship that off to some island somewhere and just dump trash, and like we pay some third world country to dispose of that trash, but that trash never really gets disposed because the people that say that they're going to help dispose or pay for it don't. Like, it's really screwed up. Like, man, we just don't have people that, like, our leaders as a whole are failing us, because what they do, I'm going to start preaching. Dadgummit. What they have these agendas that they market and spend billions of dollars promoting, and it gives everyone this feeling that something's being done. But do you remember as a kid when your mom or your dad said, you need to dust, or you need to mop, or you need to sweep, or you need to vacuum, right? And then you're sweeping, you got all this dirt, and you're like, oh crap, I can't find the scooper to put the dirt in. Can't do it. So what do? You lift up the rug, sweep it in there. I used to throw away trash because I was too lazy to go to the trash can for some reason as a kid, and I would put my wrappers in the vents. Part of a sucker or an apple or whatever. It wouldn't be a donut because they ate all the donuts, but that's another story. Ecosystem imbalance. Plastic waste can disrupt natural habitats, leading to imbalances in local ecosystems. Ecosystems, even our human ecosystems, it doesn't take much to pollute them. Put somebody in that's not like-minded, put somebody in that's at a different energy level, frequency, if you want to go that direction. You know, people that, again, it can mess it up. Ecosystems are not meant to have anything unnatural in them. And, you know, this plastic is not exactly natural. Okay, non-biodegradable. Plastics take hundreds of years to decompose, leading to long-lasting environmental damage. Okay, so back to this bottle again that I've used, I forget, 20 times maybe. Let's see, I'd do the math in front of you, but I would probably get embarrassed. But I mean, it's still really good. It can be reused. There's no reason not to reuse it, right? I can put water in it. I mean, there's so many other things you can do, but this is not decomposing. So why wouldn't we reuse them? Solutions and responsibility. Well, I brought this up earlier. Recycling and upcycling. Encourage the practice of recycling practice and upcycling them into new products to reduce waste. Now, not all recycling stuff or recycling programs are BS, but it's not a perfect system. However, I am very inspired by plastic that has been upcycled. In other words, they produce new products. That's inspiring. That's showing good use. Now, is there probably more to that story? Yeah, unfortunately. There's probably a dark side to that too. It's unfortunate. And that can inspire a hopeless feeling, but it doesn't have to be. Because if we keep pushing just to do our part, not spend millions of dollars to promote an agenda, just us ourselves, take it upon ourselves to do the little things. It adds up. It adds up quickly. Again, if I think about this bottle And I have other, actually, it's kind of embarrassing. So instead of buying water bottles all the time at my gym, I've got one of those, you know, they have that fancy water machine. So I take my bottles in. I probably look like I'm homeless when I do this. It doesn't matter, I don't care. I'm doing it because it's the right thing to do in reusing the bottles until I can't use them anymore. I fill up all my water bottles in that. And if I'm gonna do a hydration packet or something like that, you know, I just can pour it in and reuse it, and that's how I get my flavor. Put my pre-workout in, whatever it may be. But I mean, those are little things. And if we all do the little things, guess what? It adds up to something really big. Really big. Okay, I don't necessarily agree with this, but government regulations. Advocate for stricter laws on plastic production and waste management. I don't know. I don't know if I trust the government to come up with a good solution, but you know what I do trust? Some millennial. I trust a millennial that is just going to come up with something so disruptive and outside of the box. Maybe they'll work with AI, and AI is going to say, hey, why don't you try this? And then it's going to, I don't know. But I almost have more faith in someone in some college in some town coming up with something, or not even outside of college for that matter, or some guy that's a gamer coming up with something. I don't know if I trust the government to bring the solution, because I kind of think they're part of the problem, even though they're the ones spending millions of dollars on these programs to promote these agendas. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know if I trust it. But I do hope that somebody out there gets inspired to bring a solution. And I do believe that there is someone created a plastic eating bacteria, and I need to find information on that, but that's helping clean up some of the plastic pollution, which is exciting. I heard about it about 6 months ago and never heard anything about it again, but I want to look into that. Okay. Consumer choices. Promote the use of eco-friendly alternatives like bioplastics and reusable items. I believe in that. One of the favorite things I like about Aldi, for instance, of course, this can be a problem too, but you know, Aldi doesn't use plastic. You get the boxes that the products came in, and that's what people use. Now, of course, you can reuse those too, or you can break them down and recycle them. Like Aldi, to me, is setting an amazing example. I also am one of those people, you can call me crazy, but I don't mind at all paying for plastic bags. Do you know why? Because the ones you pay for can be reused a bunch. You can even wrap gifts in it. Anyway, so I hope that was enlightening to you. I hope it was relatively interesting. I hope it inspired you to want to take a deeper dive. As I said, I am not an expert. I'm just a global citizen that sees this, and I don't like it. I want something to be done about it, and I think we can do better. And at the same time, I'm looking at all these health issues that we have in the world, all of them, and I have to wonder, how much is plastic poisoning from plastic pollution? How much is that playing a role? And I don't know the answer, but it's something to consider. So I hope and pray that this encourages you to do your part. Thank you for watching. And our next segment, there's not going to be much of a breather here, but we are going to show you a couple clips from WION News that are quite interesting. And we're going to have a deeper dive into blood batteries. We'll be right back after this.